You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You show me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You show me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. 'Cause I'm the winner, yes. Am I awake or am I dreaming? So far gone, I won't look back. And when I move, there ain't no stopping me. You're pushing me up to the top. I saw the clouds looking at.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is Tuesday, yes, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I am Sharon Campbell, your Plan to Prosper host for today, and we thank you so very much. It is second quarter of the year. Can you believe that we have made it? Came past Easter, moving into the holidays that's coming forth, which is Memorial Day, 4th of July, Mother's Day, Graduation's Day. It is a time in the springtime when everything is blowing. And I said, this is the time of the year your company can just blossom. And when you're thinking about blossoming and growing, and I think about for us is who are we bringing along with us? Who are we mentoring? Who are we inspiring? Who are we helping to get them to their goals, to their dreams, to their purpose? What are we doing as a business owner, entrepreneur? What are we doing to help grow the economy? And the great thing is for us, is because we are in 200 countries, we have the ability to impact so many people. To have companies and individuals think about who are we pouring into? Who are we springing forward as spring come about us? Who are we elevating up for all the great things that's going on in our life? And so our show tonight is about being a mentor and having a mentee. And what does that mean? And the great thing for me is I love mentoring young people. It is they are such an incredible group of people to think about. They can visualize so much and see the world so different and help bring seasoned people along the journey. They use technology in ways that we would probably never think about. But they're also looking for a structure, how to be disciplined, which is so very important. How to, I would say, you may want to say something, it's not the time to speak. Self-control, willpower. But most important, how do you pour into them? And how do you stand back and see the fruit of your labor? So tonight, I have Miss Jewel Harris. Now, Miss Harris, I tell you, is just a blessing. She is God-driven first as a young generation X, Z, but she also had the passion for her community. Community. And how she developed her purpose is driven so much by her faith and her belief that she carries it throughout her life. So, Jewel, will you please join us on the stage?
Hello.
Hey, Jewel, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We are doing fantastic. I want to first tell my audience what a fantastic person you are. I was sharing to them that your relationship with God as are you a Generation Z or X? Because I get them all mixed up.
I'm actually a millennial. I'm the last.
Millennial. Oh my God. And that's even better. So
Yeah.
you got Z, X, and a millennial. I am blessed. So having a millennial on the show today, oh yes, my goodness, it's a blessing. And to know that she is rooted in her growth around her spiritual belief. And she takes that with her every day of her life. And she pours back into the community on that. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Jewel.
Well, my name is Jewel. I'm born and raised in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm a Southern girl at heart. I love all things country because, like I said, I'm a Southern girl at heart. I'm the youngest of two. I am a granddaughter, aunt. I love God. I love laughing. That's my favorite thing to do because laughter is good for the soul and it's the best medicine. And that's pretty much about me.
Do you like reading?
I do. I actually started to get back into reading recently, and I read a couple of good books, but they've all been Christian based right now. But I do want to get into some nonfiction and fiction.
Fantastic. Now, when you see young people like yourself, and I want all our 200 countries to really understand that your walk and your faith is so very important to you as a young millennial, and how you can live in the world in such a diverse world that you still can be who you are and have a great time as a young person, a seasoned young person, a millennium, at the same time, serving God at the same time. Because so many of them, I found out when I did a survey with that, they wasn't for sure if they could even have that conversation around other young millennials. So talk to us about that.
Can you repeat yourself? It was breaking up a little bit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I say, talk to us about how, as a millennial, that you use your faith to guide you in this world we're in today.
I use my faith because I'm rooted in Christ. My mom and dad, they were both raised in church. And with the parents that I have, I had no choice but to straighten up and fly right. So I feel like I use my faith. Like anytime I feel like I've gone off the verge or haven't crossed every T or dotted every I, I know that God still has me and he's going to carry me through anything. Even when I made mistakes, didn't do what he said, I still came back to the foundation that I was raised on. And it's just a process and living day to day, knowing that you're not going to give up because he's not going to give up on you. He died on the cross for our sins. So no matter how hard it's going to get, he's still going to take you through it. Because there have been times where it's gotten really hard where I was like, I'm done with life. I don't want to do this anymore. But I didn't give up and I kept pushing. It got dark at one point, but I kept pushing. And I use my faith to know that God has brought me through and is going to continue to bring me through.
I'm glad you shared it because so often young adults think that it's just them. But I'm going to share this with you, Jewel. It's with older adults too. We experience some of the same emotions that young adults feel: the loneliness, the doubt, the self-esteem, the self-worth, the feeling that I'm not moving fast enough in my career or in my life, that I have made too many bad choices. And when I had an opportunity to talk with young adults, and I love young adults, I love mentoring young adults, especially young Black females, because I want you to know that where you are, your next step at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, you're on cursing them same things, but in a different way. Well, you may be lonely now. Many seniors feel lonely after all their children grow up and leave them. It's a different type of lonely, but it happens. So I want to encourage you that it's okay where you at now. It's okay when you get there at 30 and you feel those feelings. It's about the fact that God is guiding you through it all. And that's what we need to remember is through it all, we have someone that will not change. And we're not perfect.
We are not.
We're not perfect. So what are some hobbies that you like to do?
I actually like to go walking. I've developed that habit when I was on my weight loss journey before. I went out and walked. I like lifting weights, and I was really taking care of my health. And that's one hobby that I really picked up, and I'm getting back into it, but I did drop it, but I've started back, and that's one of my favorite hobbies, walking. So.
Well, you're like myself. I love walking. I think for me, when I'm outside, I feel like I'm close to God. Yes. I feel that I get to look at trees, and I never thought about the tree. But then when you keep walking and walking and see more trees, you be like, oh my goodness, that tree is different. And just how God have made things so different, and people are different because the world is different. So your journey, when you are walking, what do you notice outside?
I noticed the clouds. I noticed the animals. By my house, we have a lake called Lake Lynn, and each time you go out there, it's something different. You might see a deer. You might see a snake. You might see people fishing. Like, you can see anything, and I think that's the beauty of it, because each walk is completely different, and each walk that you go on, well, for me personally, is different, because I might go out there and I'm feeling heavy that day, like I don't want to walk, or I don't want to do this workout. But I know halfway through it, I'm glad I did it. And God will remind me, like, you're doing this for a purpose. You're doing it for a reason. And I have to remind myself that too. And I just like the scenery of it all, because you'll see different people. You'll meet different people. And you can form friendships. Because I know my mom has formed a couple friendships out there walking. I haven't formed any. I just wave to people who I normally see. But it's just the community of it, seeing what God has created. The sky's even different each time. I've taken several pictures where the sky has looked like Jesus's face. Well, I haven't seen his face, but it looks like a image. Yes, of him. I've seen like birds in the sky. Like, it's just completely different each time.
I'm glad you said it, because you think about if you walk a certain trail, and you're like, that wasn't there yesterday. And you're like, no, where was I at? Because I know I came this way. And then what I found out for me is that I'm seeing God manifest himself every day by walking in the nature of uncharted woods of trees that may have fell down, but they still have this purpose. And so when I see all of that, I think about the things inside of me, and every day there's something different. So if you start examining yourself, it's like examining a walk with God or walk on the trail. Every day there's something different. And so you have to start celebrating all that inside of you, the good, the not so good. I tell people I celebrate the not so good. You know why? Because the not so good gives you something to be better at, give you something to work on. And we're not perfect, and we're not supposed to be perfect. And so if all of us perfect, then God said, what can I do for you? But when I see young people say, you know what, I can experience being a not so good and find lessons in that I could be and walking is so therapeutic that you can start out maybe being upset. But as you get down the road, you start thinking about, oh my goodness, how I'm get back to that car? It's hot out here. And what you start out with, your mind done shifted to something completely different. Yes. And you start focusing on, oh, let me hear him get back. It's hot. It's going on 90 sun. And then when you get back, you forgot what you was upset about. And that's how God does it.
Yes.
He will put you in a place that you forget about what's going on and start thinking about something else. And when you get back, you can't even get upset.
No, you really can't.
Mm-hmm. So tell me some of your favorite scriptures you like.
My favorite scripture is Jeremiah 29:11. And that hands down, out of any verse in the Bible, that's the one I go to every time because he knows the plans that he has for me. Even when I feel like stuff is going left, I'm not on the path that I'm supposed to be on, or it's not happening fast enough for me, or I feel like other people are in a better position in life than me, like, oh, they're doing better, they're doing this, they're doing that. And then I have to remember, nope, Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans that I have for you. So if somebody need a scripture, read that scripture. You will not, you won't question where you are in life. And recently at 27 years old, I'll be 28 this year, that scripture has resonated with me more than anything because there's so many people my age who are either married, have children, bought their first home, or moved all over the world. And you see that, and social media can be the death of everything because you see everything like, oh my God, this person is doing that. But in reality, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And God has me planted right where I am at this appointed time to do what I'm supposed to do. And like I said, you might not cross every T and dot every I, but he has you right here in this moment. That's my favorite.
And I like it. I'm glad you said it because social media portrays that everybody doing so good. And you be like, nah, no. But it is a sometimes I think it's like an act of this is how I want my life to be. And some of it is real true. It's okay.
Mhm.
How if I say this? Sometimes people put Facebook pictures up and they look like one thing, Jewel. And then you go see them and they ain't 25. They got a little age on them, but they put that 25 picture up. And I'm like, yeah, you used to look like that. But now,
No.
that's what I was telling some people to tell about some dating sites. And I said, well, I've never been on one. So some of my girlfriends telling me about the guys, about Miss Sharon. They put this picture up, and then you go to dinner, and you be like, "Where's that person at?" You looking around, and they know you looking for them because you looking crazy. And then you see them, and then you want to know what happened. False advertiser had my hopes up, and I go to the table like, "Are you for real? Get that picture down." Or a woman that put up a picture where she is 40 pounds lighter, and you go see it, be like, now you know goodness well you should put that you should put that other picture up.
Yep.
We have to stop trying to fool people. Somebody gonna see you, honey.
They will. You can't fake the funk for too long.
That's what I said. So social media is so unusual, especially that AI now. I like, man, y'all know goodness well all of that stuff ain't true.
It's not.
It sounds good.
No, but it's not. And speaking of AI, I like on Facebook, you know how you have those AI generated pictures that you can make yourself look better than you are, or like have yourself in a different place. I did it the other day for the first time, and I was like, my face didn't match any of the filters at all. Like, I guess my face was too big, and then in some pictures I looked like a baby, and I was like, I'm not gonna do this. But it didn't work for me. So.
And it don't work for me neither because I don't look nothing like that. Not even in my youth, I don't look like anything like that. No. And I think people need to use it to have a good laugh and let it be a great laugh. Okay. Yes. And so I am so honored that Jewel asked me to mentor her. It was a blessing when someone come to you and feel that you have something to pull inside of them. And especially millennials, it tells you something about who they are, and they're looking for someone to help them define their purpose and how to get there, not how to fix it, but hey, look, you and I tell you, it's like you've been around this long, you have seen a whole lot. I think about my mom being 86. She got the black, she got saw the TV come up, the black and white, the color, and you think about all the things she have seen in 86 years, and you are like, you went from the big phone, no phone, dial phone, now you got an iPhone. You think about that, and you're like, that's seen a whole lot. But at the same time, we get to experience what y'all see, and we're like, oh my goodness, I never thought I would ever get to this point. And so as you and I are bonding into this new journey, what would you tell a young person to look for or to ask where they won't be in fear as they look for someone to help them reach their next goal, whether it's personal, professional, whether it's spiritual, whatever it is? What would be some of the things you would share with them?
I would tell them to look for, if it's personal development, look for something or someone who you feel like you can relate to. But I can only speak for myself because right now I'm personal side spiritual, and I want a mentor who can help me on my journey spiritually and get me to a place where I'm getting uncomfortable to get comfortable, because I want to grow mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. So I would like a mentor to have all those aspects, because I feel like you've been where I've been. And nothing to take away from my parents, but I want them to understand that this is a relationship that can help me get to the next level, help me move forward in life, and also a person who doesn't mind giving their knowledge, doesn't mind helping, doesn't mind showing the road at all. Because a lot of people now, they don't want to give you the information that they have because they want to hold on to it. But people don't realize this generation, your generation, my mom's generation, dad, grandma, God forbid, they're all dying. Like what you all had and what they had growing up is completely different from what we have now. So if you don't give your tools and knowledge to the next generation, how are we going to be able to move forward? And when times get tough and hard, we don't know what to do because we've never been given the tools or haven't been taught like, hey, we've been through this before. All you got to do is do this, keep it pushing, brush it off your shoulders, keep going. You're better than that. You can do better. There are so many aspects that your generation and the generation before you can give. And I wish that so many young people had that type of leadership and mentorship to get them through.
That is so well said, because I believe as a seasoned older woman that I can learn from your generation. I can learn, the struggles I went through. It's not the struggles you're going to go through. And I can glean from this in the, as I would tell people, like the things in the world now, I would like to learn from younger people how to maneuver that as a young person with technology. You may say, well, you know what? Come and I spend an hour with you, Miss Sharon. We're going to Starbucks in a latte on you. I'm like, okay, but this is what I want you to show me how to do. You see it? I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to Starbucks with this young person. I'm in a space where I may not be comfortable going somewhere, around like in a classroom. Mm-hmm. And you're going to sit down and you're going to teach me something on my on my iPhone that I didn't know. And we're going to get to know one another and giggle and laugh. Yes. Wow, isn't that powerful? Then for me being in a classroom, like, with somebody sitting beside me, helping me to figure out what this key right here is. And the teacher went down the road, and I'm still trying to figure out now. Why he there? I'm back here still. And so young people bring that perspective to relationships, especially about mentoring, about how y'all feel, how y'all see stuff, that I love to say, you know what, I never thought about it that way. And things that's happening for safety. young people have a different perspective about being safe versus my generation because we slept with the doors unlocked. We ain't nobody locked no doors. There ain't nobody coming in here at all. We didn't worry about putting up one of those bolts up under our apartment. That was not our concern whatsoever. So you bring that perspective to help us think the world is different and we need to look at the world different. But you also bring the perspective from the Christian's perspective is able to talk about it in a way that is meaningful that we can relate to ourselves.
Yes.
I love the fact when I find young people that's engaged in their spirituality, that they are like very in tune. They don't have to know everything, but they know that I got to believe in our Savior, our Father, because they're going to see us through the good times and bad times, the ups and downs, and be able to have that conversation both ways. So I think that's a fantastic approach to as you look for a mentor. For me, is how do we, like you said, you want to know around it, someone to help you look at this is my purpose. So how do I move this in all walks of my life? How do I look at my career? And it may be, you may say, you know what, in my career, I want to move to a $150,000 a year job in the next 3 years. Let's plot that out. But then you go and start layering it. What does that look like financial? What does that look like spiritual? And before you know it, what that look like for me to get my body together to do that. And then at the same time, do I want to live by myself? Do I want to live with my parents? Do I want to save money? And where your parents can only take you so far, a mentor can help you look at it from a different perspective. And I think parents are great parents, but sometimes we want to cuddle our children and protect them. And where your mentor is like, oh, we're going to throw you out there, girl. We're going to see what you're going to do.
Yep.
Come get you if you go too far under the water. We're going to let you bob a couple while.
Yes, that's what I definitely need.
Okay, we're great. And so, what do your day usually start with for your day? How do your day look for yourself?
My ideal day, I'm gonna be honest, I try to start with devotion, but that does not always happen because I'll either sleep in or I wake up late. And that's my ideal day, starting with the devotion. But if I don't start with the devotion, I just pray and just ask God to cover me, cover my family, just say a simple prayer to get me through. I either eat breakfast, but right now I've been fasting these past couple of weeks. And then I will go to work from 8 to 5. Sometimes I get there at 7:30. And then I pour into my coworkers, and then I go home and I try to work out. I have been working out these past couple of weeks. I lost 7 pounds, so proud of myself on that.
Yes.
And that's pretty much it. I come home, I eat dinner, talk to my parents, and that's my day because I'm exhausted after a work week.
Okay. So, do you journal? Do you like writing?
I have started writing since we've had that conversation. I try to at least get to it once a week, if not every day, because I've been tired. Like I get really tired. Like my job drains me in a way that is a good drain. Like I feel like I did a good job at the end of the day. So it's not anything where I'm like, oh, I can't do anything. But some days I'll come home and go straight to bed. And I'm going to be honest, that's just the real deal of me 24/7. Work, home, and then on Thursdays I go to Bible study because I do the sound for that. And Sundays we're at church. So that's my week in a whole.
Okay. And so, and sometimes we can get to so much repetition, it becomes draining. And I think sometimes as I mentor people, I think about you have already set yourself up to a pattern. And so now your body's so used to that pattern, it doesn't know what to do if you move away from that pattern. And so the question I always ask people is, do you have a rounded life or do you have a pattern life?
I have a pattern life.
And if you got a pattern life, then you'll be able to say, okay, I got this pattern life. Well, no wonder I'm exhausted. No wonder I'm not doing this because I have gotten to what? A routine. So your body gets so used to that routine, anything else, it's like, okay, what happened? So now you are not growing like you want to. We're saying we want to grow on that, but guess what? That makes you, it gets back to getting uncomfortable.
That's true.
And so go back to saying, okay, I need to not say I want to get up and read my spiritual work. I have to actually make a commitment to do that. And so then you start saying, well, what does that really look like? And I tell people, sometimes you have to have a conversation with yourself, and sometimes you have to sit with yourself.
Yep.
And be real and authentic about who you are and what you want. And sometimes it's okay that you don't even know.
It is.
And so many people never thought their life is a pattern and not well rounded.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. See, a well rounded life is, oh, I'm going to join a book club. I'm gonna go to the art show. You find things to keep the mind moving. Okay. Do we use our brain as much as God has given it to us? And it is so precious. And are we pouring this side of it and moving it? So things I think about is there's 66 books in the Bible. We look over our lifetime and we could have read 66 books in how long? Because each one is a different story.
It is.
It's a different venture. And we could really take it and pattern our life in 66 months by just reading a book a month and working on that book. And just think about the growth of your mind to think about that. The knowledge flow. And you can say, well, how do I apply that? So whenever, and I tell people, whenever I do the spiritual reading part, I think about how Abraham used his father-in-law Jethro to about leaders. He put people in different tribes, and he made a leader of each one. But he taught leadership development to all these different people. And so, if you want to learn about leadership development, then you go to the beginning of Deuteronomy to start talking about leaders and find out what leaders are about. And you're like, oh, but well, you can take that same stuff and apply to what you do at your work. How you put teams together and find a leader in all the teams, and how you grow them and develop them. So I always tell people, if you really is struggling with books to read, I said, honey, there's 66. You ain't got to buy one book. You got 66 books to read.
That is true.
And by the time you finish them and apply them to your day-to-day life and start venturing out from the pattern of your life, but actually executing them when they say go out in the world and help people, you will find out I don't need to be going home, but let me see if there's somebody that we could have a reading group, a women a spiritual reading group, or women a fiction group. You be like, oh, so now I see how I can spread the word.
Yes,
it is. There's nothing Ecclesiastes new in the sun, because you think when you look across it, the whole spiritual being, there was no pattern to what they did. There was this, they had things planned, do, execute, go here, do that. They never, every day was never the same. It was never the same. They had to actually do something every day different in some way, somehow. So it was just something that I like to share with my mentees is that you really have to become more rounded, especially if you plan on meeting people and growing and developing yourself. And so that is why I think it's so very important that business owners, entrepreneurs, spiritual leaders, faith-based community people need to pour into young people. We need to pour into people in general so they can help them become more rounded and not become more patterned.
Yes. And it's so crazy that you said that because I did read my devotion today, and the devotion in Our Daily Bread was how to be a great leader. And it said read Psalms 31, and that was talking about how the leaders are supposed to be. And it's crazy that you said that. God just brought it all together. So it just blew my mind.
Because what you could do is start saying, okay, on Wednesday, I'll meet. You can just have one or two person say, you know what? Let's go after work and let's stop. Now, I'm just telling people I'm a Starbucks girl. I love Starbucks. Somebody
Me
need to help
too.
bring me. Let's stop at Starbucks and have a refresher and just have a conversation about our day, our week, our challenges. And then after an hour or just really good fellowship, and guess what? We could go. So look at this, and another good. Why drive all the way home just to come back out on Thursday, an hour later, to Bible study? Why not meet a group of people? Y'all have your book reading during that time, and say after that, I'm out already. I'm going to spend an hour with them, and then I'm going to go over there. It's about creating opportunity to spread your purpose, your goodness, your spirituality, your growth and opportunity.
Yes.
And so you have to say, I want to be more rounded, but what does that look like? It's making you uncomfortable, like you talked before, to be comfortable. When you leave church, have you found a group of people say, you know what? Let's go to the art museum just to unwind and reflect. You have to create that, because if you look at through the 66 books, they did stuff like that. Once they left places, they took a walk, and you love walking. But they took a walk for other people to do what? Unwind.
That's good.
To think, to see the goodness of God. And then when you see that, then you're like, you know what? This is really neat. It's really neat. Now, the city of Raleigh, I think they have over 100 trails. Try saying, I'm going to walk. I'm going to get me a little group, and we're going to walk every trail in Wake County or Raleigh.
That's a good idea.
Each one is a different experience. It's laid out different. It's a different journey. So what you may think about is, I may want to challenge, and because I started out with my sister walking different trails and stuff, and we were just so amazed that 26 miles between Wake County and Johnson County, the trails intertwine.
Wow.
There's 13 miles from Shelley Lake to Crabtree Valley Mall, walking the trails. You're going through tunnels, you're going here, but you experiencing a different way, a life experience. And then to be able to go back and apply that, because you could take those journeys and apply it to your work life, your balance. And so for mentors and mentees, that's what we do. We share our experiences with one another, and we partner together on how do we have better experiences in life, and open up a world of opportunities for more growth and development.
I love it. I love that. I think I want to try that. Get a group together and we can go explore the trails of Raleigh.
That's right. And I'm telling you, and it don't have to be a big group. It could be that. It could be one day maybe Mary, next day maybe Elizabeth. But it's something that you are doing for your own journey, and you're asking other people to come on to your journey, and you can document that through social media,
That is true.
and you can show people the pretty, beautiful trails that God has created. And it's no greater joy to be outside and see the work of God. Now, if you go over to Blue Ridge Parkway over the Blue Ridge, where the art museum is at, they have a lot of statues on the outside. Just
Mm-hmm.
walking around that, exploring that, you're going to see these big rocks, and you're going to like, well, how did God put those rocks together to look like an elephant?
You will. Now their trails are really beautiful.
And it's a good conversation. And you're gonna learn more and more about yourself. I found out in nature with God, because He have
Yes.
created something so unusual. Who else do you know have created a tree, flowers, bees, ants, everything right there in one
Nobody.
location?
Nobody. And people try to emulate it, do it, and they can't.
hmm 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 So tell us some things that you would like to leave the world, that you want to say to the world, you want the world to know about you, about God, about walk, anything that you want to leave this place a better place.
I want to leave. This is a hard question. What do I want to leave? Hmm. I want to leave. Caught me off guard with this. I want to leave Earth and the world and society better than I came in. And that could be opening up my grandma's nonprofit again and giving back and growing that, or helping, or I don't even know. Like, this question is hard because I don't know. That would be the main thing that I would actually want to do, is reopen that and make that better. Because my grandma, she is a phenomenal woman and she's done phenomenal things in her life. And if I could just do half of what she did, I think I would be happy with what I've done, or half of what my mom's did. Like that, those two really have paved the way, and I have big shoes to fill. So I think that would be my main thing, to leave it better than it was.
To do you better than more. That's fantastic. You can do anything you want in the world. God has made that possible. He has given people. See, we are different than animals. We are human beings. Think of
Mm-hmm.
that. We have the ability to think different, to venture out, to explore so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it is our job to take that and pour into other ones and tell us. So it's your job to encourage other young people your age. Say, hey, look, you may want to think about getting a mentor. But if you do, what would you want this mentor to be about? Is it that you just want to get one somebody to just help you get a job and that's it?
And then that would make them think.
Or you trying to discover who you are and you in a struggle with it, and you need someone that's not your parent that you can talk about it and be non-judgmental and help you move it to the next level.
Yeah.
And you could say, I need someone to help me be accountability.
Yeah.
And that person can say, you know what, I can do that, or I can't do that. But you have to be wise when choosing people. You just don't go get one because you think it's cute and nice and they need to help you get a job. Because I'm going to tell you, it's going to be cute and nice and you ain't going to get nothing.
Nothing doing.
Nothing. Because everything It's already been done in the world and been placed in the 66 books. Okay, so we can't. Someone said, but in the 66 books, there wasn't an iPhone. Yes, there was. Here, God said, for every generation, you're going to get wiser. So if he would have put an iPhone back there, then y'all wouldn't be able to develop it up here.
Nope.
So that ain't new because it's about the intellect. It's about the mind, the brain.
That is true.
So that fire. You think about it. Oh, they had sticks. Now we had this. Now we got a fireplace, a pit, and everything else. Guess what? It's still fire. Then it's put it in a can. Then it's put it in something else. But guess what? It's still the same thing.
It is.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's why God said, I have not created anything new, nor can you create anything new. When you think about medicine and drugs and stuff like that, there was herbs always around. There was no shortage of medication. So one built onto the other, depending on what was needed. Look at COVID. Now, I just tell you, that's the fastest. A lot of people, yes, lost their lives, but they found a cure very quickly.
They did.
Or we still in the struggle for cancer. We still in the struggle with diabetes, cholesterol, MS. We still in the struggle. But for that, they're like, well, we got to fast track this. People still may get it, but it's not at the rate it was before.
It's not.
And so that's what I want to share with you is that you could become anything in this world if you put your time. And it's not instant, like instant grits, it's the oatmeal. It's hard work.
It is.
To develop yourself. And you develop yourself every day over and over and over again. To become the person that you believe that God meant you to be. And that's self-development. See, a lot of people don't understand self-development is spiritual development. Because you got to change something and you're going to do a whole lot of prayers because you ain't going to want to give up some of the stuff that you want to keep. Some people you're going to have to kick out your life and you're going to be wanting to hold on to them. And God been telling you the whole time, let them go. Let them go. Did I not tell you to shake them from up under your feet? And you just want to keep dragging them.
Story of my life. Yes, I've been there.
Story of many lives. You're the story of many lives. It's not just yours. It's the story of many lives. All the people had to say, I told you leave your cousin Louise alone. We brought her back in 2014 when God said, did I not tell you leave her in 2023? We're like, I'm going to bring her back over one more time. And she's still doing the same thing. And you knew it. You know.
Yep.
And so this is really about you looking, say, I don't want to be a routine person. I always want to be able to position myself in different places and spaces that God can use me. So I had to put myself in different places but I just believe God needs more people out there, not just preaching his word, but actually living it. And he's looking for more young people out there, for more other young people to see that you can live in this world and be holy and still have a good time.
Have a good time.
You still can enjoy a movie. You still can okay. Just because you go somewhere doesn't mean you got to be engaged and act crazy. It doesn't. You can go to the movie. You can go to the park. You can do so many other things in your life. And so I just want to encourage all of our audience today, especially in all 200 countries that we represent, especially with Mark, the producer, to take a picture from Jewel, to know that you can become the best of you if you do the work and put the time in. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your life.
Nope.
Okay? So that's my departed thoughts. What's yours, Jewel?
My thoughts, one, this confirmed everything that I needed. And two, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Because you constantly want to develop and you want to grow. And like you said, be the gospel and show the gospel for God. And constantly
Well,
develop.
tell us the name of your church and your pastor.
My church is Word Center Church, Pastor Sonia Spence Walker. We are off of New Bern Avenue in the Tower Shopping Center. Right next, well, a couple doors down from the American, I think it's American Freight Store. So.
And guess what? This wonderful church allowed me to join them and be covered by them on Sunday, Easter Sunday. And I am so excited.
We are excited to have you.
It's a blessing when you walk into a place and you know you're at home.
Yes.
When you know you're at home. It's like coming to my home and I know I'm home. And
yes,
I tell Jewel, and I also tell the pastor and the associate pastors and all the women that's there that I bet it is one of the best choices I have made in my life. Is so to be at a place that I could call home.
I'm so glad.
I have to listen on Sunday. I think about it.
Aww.
So if anybody is in the area in Raleigh, look up Word. Go ahead, Jewel. Word. Come on, say it. Yeah. Word
Center Church.
Thank you. Off of New Bern Avenue. And our pastor is
Sonia Spence Walker.
Yes. Someone that will pour into you in a way that no one else could possibly do it. And when you leave there, you feel loved and valued and appreciated. And for me, that is something that God has given her. And that is her gift, that in her presence, you are loved. Thank you so very much, everybody. And I really am excited to bring on more people, more millennials, to talk about having someone in your life that's going to make a difference. And so this quarter, which is quarter 2 for small businesses and entrepreneurs, is to go get you someone and mentor them. Go out there, find you a young person and pour it to them. Have a very good night. As always, Mark, thank you for being our producer and our engineer of this show, the Plan to Prosper Show. I will see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Bye, Jewel.
Bye. Thank you for having me.